Now I've seen a decent amount of anime in my days, some really good and some really shit. But I gotta say, I can't think of an anime that I've seen that's more boring than this shit right here, Classroom of the Elite. And it's really a shame because when I first watched this show a long time ago, I remember thinking it was kinda interesting. To give a very brief summary, it's basically about this boy, Ayanakouji, who was raised in the White Room, a place that trains kids from a young age to be geniuses physically and mentally, but now grown up is attending this high school where he tries to live a normal life while at the same time avoiding being expelled from the school by the people that run the White Room and other students. And I thought season 1 of the anime was interesting because I just felt the entire school system was pretty unique, and I also thought, unironically, the main character was kinda tough, I'm not gonna lie. Now before anyone goes down to the comment section to clown on me, keep in mind this was ages ago, alright? When I first started watching this, I was a dumbass middle schooler, and the anime didn't even have a season 2. It was a different time back then, you gotta understand that. But back to the school system, they got this whole ranking system with points that I'm not gonna explain because I'm assuming those that are watching this right now have at least watched some of this anime. And because of this system, pretty much everything under the sun has happened at this school. Sports events, dumping students on a deserted island, and having fucking students trying to stab each other. Like, damn, they spend more time doing this than putting pen to paper on an actual test. And with all this happening, it actually tricked my dumbass into thinking it was an entertaining series. Until you realize this shit is a facade. Because when you really step back and look at the anime as a whole, all 4 seasons so far, you'll realize that nothing meaningful has actually happened. 4 seasons in, and it feels like there's been barely any progress with anyone and anything. Let's just start with the main character, ayanakouji, who is easily one of the most boring main characters I've ever seen. You know, at first I thought he would have actual progression to where he's able to change his views on humans and life that the White Room gave him, become an actual normal person, you know? But nah, instead he's just your typical overpowered manipulator main character. From season 1 up until season 4, he's still going on about using people as tools, and I'm just so over it. Overall, the dude is just a boring main character. Like, I didn't think it was possible for a main character in 4 seasons to go through literally 0 character development, but here we are. And even worse are the vast majority of the side characters that are just as, if not more, dull. Every character falls into one of these categories of being a love interest for the main character, being a dick rider for the main character, not getting enough screen time or development so it doesn't even matter, or all 3. And it's not just how every girl character is made to be a love interest, it's also how they fall in love with him that makes no sense whatsoever. This character, Kei, falls in love with him despite the fact that he basically tried to essay her. And this other girl, Sato, falls in love with him for running fast in a track race. Like, bitch, I thought we left that shit in 3rd grade. She's a whole high school student falling in love with a boy because he ran fast. Like, are we serious? The only character I can think of that doesn't fall under one of these categories is Kushida, who hates ayanakouji and wants to expel him, but she's just not someone I can take seriously as an antagonist, I'm sorry. The dialogue is also surprise surprise boring as shit. Like, I get the whole point of this dude's character is that he doesn't show emotions, but the conversations between him and any other character is some of the driest, dullest conversations out there. It's literally all just small talk you would hear when you're talking to someone you don't know or mess with all that well, but you want to keep the conversation going to avoid awkward silence. No emotion, no substance, there's nothing going on with the dialogue. Only the dialogue between anyone that's not this man approach is watchable. But even then, with all that being said, the show itself isn't even the worst anime I've ever seen or anything like that. Like, I've probably seen multiple other shitty romance or isekai shows that are way worse than this one in terms of writing and plot and all that, but at least with those, I could have dumb fun watching it. You know, a show you watch when you don't have shit else to do and just want to watch something that'll keep your attention. This show, though, it's just dumb. Like, ain't no fun in watching this. It just tries to be deep and philosophical and shit. Like, every episode is titled with a quote about human nature, trying to be deeper intellectual, when in reality, there's nothing deep about it. Or at least if it is, they don't do a very good job exploring those types of themes. Matter of fact, let's take a look at some of these quotes they use. Man is man to man is wolf to man. Man is an animal that makes bargains. No other animal does this. No dog exchanges bones with another. Okay. That's good to know, I guess. Every failure is a step to success. Alright, that's true. That's good advice. Some of the quotes are good, I'll concede. But it doesn't take away the fact that half these quotes don't even relate to the show in any meaningful way. So yeah, that's the last complaint I wanted to talk about regarding this show. Teacher's bad though. Real talk, you gotta be ashamed of yourself. I heard the light novel version of this show is a lot better, and honestly, that's probably true. This video is strictly about the anime, but I don't really care. You would never catch me dead reading something with no pictures. Anyways, all in all, don't watch this anime. I'd rather you watch golf. As always, thanks for watching. Check out my other videos if you want. and goodbye.